Now, I have to say that while I am loving this series, I am really surprised that the episodes aren't longer. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Crossin Streams. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're talking about episode 2 of The Mandalorian. When we last left off, our hero has tracked down his bounty, which turned out, even though this person was supposed to be 50 years old, it turned out to be a baby. And not only just a baby that is the same species as Yoda, the species not having a name. So that's a real interesting twist right there. When we start the episode, he's taken the baby through the wastelands, and he has to deal with scavengers. But from what it seems like, either they are after the baby also, or they're after him because they had one of the tracking beacons. We don't know who they're after. So he gets through the scavengers or bounty hunters or whatever they were to get back to his ship. But lo and behold, his ship is being torn apart by none other than Jawas. The Jawas have taken his ship and dismantled it. And they start to run, and he gives chase. And I found it kind of funny because I was like, he wouldn't leave his bounty behind, but the bounty pod follows him. And it turns out he's got this little remote control on one of his gloves, and he's able to control this pod. But he gives chase, and the Jawas get the better of him. He goes back to get help from Nick Nolte's character, who takes him to go trade with the Jawas. Then again, the Jawas aren't too happy to see the Mandalorian, and of course he jokes, well, I did disintegrate a few of them. So then they want his armor. Of course they're not going to get his armor. Next, they start walking towards the baby, and of course the Mandalorian is not too happy about that. But then they say they want an item, and he has to go and track down this item. And that's where I'm going to stop explaining the episode, because that's where the spoilery stuff starts happening. Let's just say that I think this series, or at least this first season, is going to be based around this child, because we start to learn a little bit about the child during this little mission for him to go get the item that the Jawas want. And I will say this, I don't know if it's going to have implications for the Rise of Skywalker, but it very well could, which would be kind of a neat little twist to have in there, that things that are happening in The Mandalorian have something to do with the Rise of Skywalker. Because now that we know the Emperor is still alive, that could have implications. So, and that we know the Empire is still around at this time. So, it's neat what they start to show, which could be really fun for this series. But the rest of the episode is about him trying to get this item to get off the planet. And then that's where the episode ends. The episode was less than, I think it was like 30 minutes. It was like maybe 30, 31, 32 minutes. It wasn't very long. Still a really strong episode, though. It didn't advance the story a ton, other than we find out that he may be being tracked, or someone else is after the baby, or we also find out more. Again, we also find out more about the baby itself. So again, not a ton happens, but it's still a really solid episode. The action's good. We're starting to see that the Mandalorian can be pretty ruthless, especially towards Jawas. he disintegrated a few of them. So, him chasing the Jawas, he wanted his stuff back. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, it's a solid episode, and again, it's more than enough reason for a Star Wars fan to want Disney Plus. I'm sure you got it already. But yeah, and the service has been working, so that's a plus. That I haven't had too many issues, and a little bit of update on that. I've got it on my kids' iPads. I've got it on my computer, on my phone, and I haven't had too many issues with it except for day one. So yeah, so again, that's a quick episode look at episode 2 of The Mandalorian. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel. Like this video. If you have anything to say about The Mandalorian, please try to stay spoiler free. Please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.